It's math.
Now you can ask.
Exactly.
Do you want chocolate? It's $1.
Wrong time. Hey, you got
Hi.
Hey, you in trouble?
Yeah.
Good.
You sound so convinced.
So convincing. Number 4, correlation coefficient. Check. Number 6, constant variation. Check.
Check.
Number 18. Oh, that looks like a scatter plot to me. Yeah?
Fancy.
Did it look like that-ish and you found the regression and then it went through like so? Did you guys change the regression to be in terms of the proper variables?
Whoa. What
Instead of y and
does
x, did you make it s and t?
No.
Interesting. But hopefully it still fit well. Letter D. Why did they use 27 instead of 2017?
Because
It was years from
2005.
1995?
Oh,
We took the
1995.
years go like 2005, and then it goes all the way up to like 2000. It goes like 1994, then 95, then 96, 97, 98, 99, then
Yeah.
2000. Do you go to 10? Or do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, wasn't this one years from 1990?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I thought someone said 95. Years from 1990, so this is 27 years away, so you plugged in 27, plug it in, done. But, did you label it? Are you looking at yours? Did you label it in dollars and millions of dollars?
Oh yeah.
Letter E. What was going on here? There's no work shown. Did they get confused on E? I got confused on E.
No, I just put the slope.
No,
It's just the slope. Why?
Because that's what we're asked for.
Yeah, they're asking like how fast, they're asking interpretation. So the interpretation of the slope is every 1 year you go up. Oh, I mean, sorry, they want you again. Every 1 year you go up 40.6 billion. So you're able to steal the 40.6 and say every 1 year the Broadway shows increase by, that's crazy. Do you guys think that's crazy? That's ridiculous. 40.6 million. They're charging too much money on Broadway. But the people do need to get paid, and there is the whole like artist rights and all the So it's important, but that's a lot of money. Holy cow! Let's keep going. Number 26. Oh yeah.
For 18, I was confused because it said like let t equal 5 to represent 1995.
Right.
So
5
how would you like
means what I would always do in these ones is if 1995 equals 5, then subtract 5 to figure out who's 0. Does that make sense? So if 1995 is 5, then 1990 is 0, so every other one is how far away from 1990.
Oh,
Is that better? And that's why we did the whole 27 is 2017 to subtract. Good question. Number 26. Direct variation, yeah? Plug in the clue. My final model, y equals negative 1 over pi times x. Remember, I checked on grading. Starting in this homework packet, 161 times, make sure you're grading. And if you're like, I always get them all right, how will you know? Put little check marks and say, look, they're all right. Okay. Hopefully you're only doing that if they actually are. Number 50. This one was a little crazy. You had a joint variation and a combined variation.
I put K parentheses M1 plus M2.
Ooh, not plus times. Has to be times. Because if it's joint variation, it's K times M1 and kind of like K times M2.
And I'm getting tricked up by like, it says
The square of?
the square of, like, how is it going to say the square root?
It'll have to say the square root. Otherwise, it's not square. I know. But the square of, just think squared. R squared, same thing. Number 54, you guys got the volume of rights. Okay. Oh, were you actually doing the sentence? Jointly proportional. So volume is jointly proportional to the square of radius of length. And technically with a constant. Real quick. You didn't say jointly proportional to pi though, right? You just said to the square of r and h. Pi is the constant, so he's not in the proportional thing above. Yeah, he's the k. Alright, keep going. Number 62, final answer. Oh, there was a lot. Did you guys get the model right? Look at your equation first. K times PQ over S squared. If you have him wrong, the whole thing's going to be wrong. So get him right first. And then you had to plug and chug all these different clues. You ended up with a nasty K of, yeah, but that has decimals and a fraction. Is there something in your calculator that can make this into the nice proper fraction?
Math button.
Math and a little frac, right? Is it over one or is it, no, it's not, and enter. Yeah, it's awesome. So then you have the K and then you plug in the K and then your final model. Couple more seconds. Good? Okay, number next one.
Number next.
This was the hard one, but didn't we start him yesterday and we got this? And then we got this. And then what did we say to do? Yeah.
I got back to 440 somehow.
We had to somehow plug in 440, but we had to plug in 440 for who? Now wait. Is it mathematically legal to change this to be K times the square root of 1.25 times the square root of T all over 1.2 times L? Is that legal? Yeah. The square root times the square root is just the combined square root. Now, if I was splitting up an addition or subtraction, I'm killing a poor puppy, and that's just rough. But why did I do that? Couldn't I now rearrange this to be K times the square root of T all over L times the square root of 1.25 all over 1.2L? No. The L shouldn't be there, right?
Wow. Is this going to
Probably not something quite this hard.
Good.
But we're still trying to understand. Gives you more hope.
Yeah.
Oh wait, isn't multiplication commutative? Can't I switch that order around? So I'm just moving the square root of T next to the K for a very particular reason. And I'm moving the L in front for a very particular reason. And then, oh. So wait, I'm done? Basically. Because what can I substitute? 440, right? And 440 is changed how? By the root 1.25 all over the 1.2, which is all numeric. Plug it into your calculator and you end up with
About 409.
I would never see
409.
that.
Me neither. Yeah, wow. Thanks for doing.
About 409.
That was crazy.
about 409. Do they want
None
that
of us
full
are
number?
probably.
Let's go check it out. How did they show it?
I was about to say.
They did it a lot harder, I think.
Yeah, there's just a lot of work about this.
But good thing it was an even, so you guys weren't like stressing on couch chat all night anyway, right?
Yeah, man.
Final answer. Oh, okay, they did have some decimals. 409.95. I technically would have said 3 decimals and each of the other 3. What was it? Sorry, 946. So I would say the best answer is 409.946. So remember, we're getting ready for calculus. Calculus needs 3 decimal places. Our book doesn't really think about that. So vibrations per second. Good?
Yes, ma'am.
Crazy, huh? Still getting there? But I think my way is the best way.
Yeah, that was easy.
Because you just kind of split things up and then move and then say, okay, plug it in, done.
That should literally be a little slogan. We should get that on a little sign to it.
What, plug it in?
Plug it in,
in?
plug it in.
Or number next.
I don't know where to put.
Make the,
I did the year present.
or just put Blue's Clues pause all over.
Oh wait, we had one more, didn't we? Sorry, we
Yeah,
had
it's
74.
74.
What am I doing? Yeah.
Oh!
Whoa.
Look at all this stuff now.
Okay, hold on. Help me out. What was the problem? You should have it there. 74, they're basically asking what would be the effect, what would be the result of, what they say for letter A?
There was only A and B, not A, B, C,
What? Is this the same problem? Homework fail. I like the A, B, C, D. Not like the alphabet, but like the actual problems. I once were seeing. Book. Oh yeah, they totally cut it off at number 75. Last one. All right, we'll just pick A and B. Here we go. Letter A. What was different? They said double the. Oh, what are the problems? Come on. What did A say?
Said to double the width and double the L.
Equation. Cheater. Who actually wrote it? Alright, fine. Letter A said double the width and double the length. What does that mean? What was the old W is now 2W, right? And what was the old L is now 2L. And then ask yourself the question, how does that affect the whole thing plugged in? Well, it's just times times times. The squared is only for the D, so don't the 2's just cancel and it stays the same? Oh. Then letter B says, okay, what happens if we double the width and double the depth? Is that what's the distance? I don't remember. That's why you're supposed to write the problem. Double the width and double the D. There you go, fine. What happens? Simplify. 2 times W is just 2W, but then 2D squared becomes 4D squared, and then 2 times 4 is 8. The whole thing is 8 times greater. Does that make sense? And then if you guys can notice on letter C, they just gave more scenarios, but then they ended up covering it up with the next problem, so they're lame. So, never mind, fine. We'll stop there. Does that kind of make sense how to figure it out, though? And with that, I think all the evens are done. However, you guys, I know you had some odds. Were there any odds? The answers in the back or calc that did not match up, did not seem to gel with what you thought it was? If you're grading your odds with a colored pen, can you find it quick? Word of the wise, yeah? If you're grading your odds with a colored pen, you can find it. Alright. Brian, any last ones? One. Going twice. Tell me how to raise a hand if you have a nod. And gone. Kiddos, what do we have for tomorrow? Test. Chapter 1, test. On what sections? 1 to 110. We have to go all the way back to 1 and then pour over it? I hope not. Because we already took a quest on it. And then you did corrections on the quest, right? And then you did corrections on the quest. So, what should you study tonight? 1-6 to 110, and a quick recap of 1-1 to 1-5. Sound good? Because on the quest, did I test on every topic? No. But I did the most important ones. Yes. Hey, is there like a list somewhere of those topics that I said for 1-1 to 1-5? Took a picture of it, and isn't it also in your notes right after 1-5? Da-da. Where's 1-5? It's here somewhere.
1-5 is like.
Got it? Oh, close. Here he is. These ones. Do you want to take another picture just to know what I thought was most important? This is the 1-1 to 1-5. This was the quest. Yeah? And then we have, the rest.
Wait, did you make another one?
Not exactly. But what did I do? Oh, sorry, a couple more seconds. I can pose. If we look at our chapter homework sheet, what do we see? Practice. Oh, yeah, sorry. There's a test review instead of a practice test. I don't know why I put both of them down. But, test review. At least, hopefully, one book per group. Go ahead and open up to page 107, looking at number 69. 69, that's like a really late place to start. Oh, really? Look at him. When the test was today, it was due today, but now the test is tomorrow.
That's good though.
Someone has a book. Open it up, page 107 per group. Ah! Turn to page 107. Alright, everybody in the group, look quickly at the book. Whoever's book is open, maybe there are multiple ones, but be looking at a book. Number 69, what section is that in?
Oh, 1.6.
Hey! So instead of necessarily like putting out a list of topics from 1-6 to 110, I instead gave you particularly helpful problems that I thought would be nice for you to review. for 1/6 to 1/10.
Yeah, I see. I see how it is.
Now, does that mean those exact problems are on the test?
Yes.
No.
But similar ones
No.
would be.
But what they test you on, what they make you review and remember and practice will almost definitely be on the test somewhere. Yeah? Okay. So, what I want you guys to do, we could go get our little whiteboards and we could do little practice problems, which we might still do if there's time. But I would rather have you guys in groups with other people and with me close by start working on the particularly helpful problems and hint from 1/6 to 1/10. So, go into your spiral, but don't make it a homework number. Make it just chapter 1 review. Sound good? Just say chapter 1 review. It's technically only, though, on 1/6 to 1/10. So do you still need to be thinking about 1/1 to 1/5? Yes, of course. Why am I a mean teacher and have 1/1 to 1/5 on the test? Some people would say it's easier than 1/6 to 1/10, so to have some easier problems with some harder problems, it evens it out a little bit. Tracking?
Yeah.
All right. When am I what? This weekend.
Are we
I've been
gonna use
great.
the calculator?
You are allowed to use your calculator on at least half of the test tomorrow.
Does that mean that you're gonna say like, okay, you can take your calculator out and
There'll be like 2 different portions, and so you would finish, if I do it that way, you would finish one part, probably finish the non-calculator part, and then you get the calculator part, you can pull it out and work.
Gotcha.
That's if I decide to do it. Oh, please, go borrow, I have extra ones, yeah.
Don't mind if I did it.
If anybody else needs to borrow, go and grab one.
Oh, I remember.
I have 5, I have 5. On test review day, you usually want to bring a book, sorry. There are more extra ones up there, and I actually have one more back here.
Oh,
I do have another one. I have one more book. One more person need it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I didn't do 101.
Those are the BC books.
Wow.
These are
Yeah.
BC. AD, we were actually short on.
Okay, so you see those are points, right?
Plenty cool in here, right?
We have 2 points. What do you do? Okay, find the slope. Find the slope of these 2 points.
Technically, there's someone in the room that you work with better than your group. Don't worry, it's no judgment on your group. But if you want to move a little bit, you can. Need your help. Just don't move crazy. And make sure we're staying.
No, like that.
I'm moving.
Yeah.
There was so much geometry in the ACT.
They like ACT, really? Because they think it's logical, so they.
Why
Did you meet
I'm sorry.
You did your best.
I didn't remember a lot of formulas.
It is a negative 6.
Okay. Now I'm gonna use the point slope.
No, point 2, it's y minus y. Yeah, y.
You guys also notice that I only gave you odds.
Okay, so
Yes.
Oh, yes. Or
Okay, how do you do?
And one more quick thing.
Why?
From here on out, so hold on. From here on out, because on test review days, we're doing it in class, we're doing it with the book in front of us. Let's go ahead and skip the problem direction thing, only on test reviews. Sound good? Doesn't mean you have to, if you already wrote it. Seriously. Either way. But you don't have to write problem directions from here on out for any reviews. You're just practicing. Just practicing. But thank you for doing that.
Negative 6 is x. X minus 2x. I mean, y minus 5.
slope y minus y1 is equal to m parentheses x minus y plus 6.
Now you figure it.
Okay.
Your life out.
Negative
Oh,
3.
great.
Go figure out.
Thanks.
Y equals negative 3x. Y equals
3 over negative 3.
C.
Wait, but there's a.
But you have to graph it.
Wait, which one?
Yeah, but
No,
in the function,
remember-
do you remember that you have
function
y equals
x
x
is equal to
plus
y.
Oh, okay. So.
Just continue doing it.
Seriously, do this wrong again.
Why did the x disappear? Because
Yeah, I have. No,
you know the
yeah,
distributive properties.
the y, the y.
that's negative.
No,
That's
because remember the 3 and the negative 6 are the y's. Because it's the function of the
Oh, hey, look at you.
Wait, what?
Just hit the.
Bye bye.
So doing a couple more example problems. The 4 becomes a positive, so question. Does that have symmetry? Even, odd, or neither? Neither, because one of them switched signs, but what happened to the other? Yeah, so one changed, one didn't. This would be a neither in the sense of there is no symmetry, right? What's going to happen when we plug into the number 17? If we plug in a negative and square it, it becomes a positive. It stays the same. And what was that again? Even or? What kind of symmetry is that? Even and odd are separate. Odd switches or flips across the origin symmetry, and even flips across the y-axis symmetry. Okay, what if I was to ask you something like this one? Domain, and you guys will see that a little bit in your test review, right? Domain, what do we do first of all if we see a denominator like number 50?
It cannot equal x.
We take that entire denominator and we say it can't equal 0. So how do we solve? Factor, right? And we have our x minus 3, our x plus 2 can't equal 0, so what can x not equal? Negative 2 or 3, right? But what do we do when we have square roots, like number 49?
X must be greater than 0.
What's inside? Good. Inside the square root has to be greater than or equal to 0. Now, if the square root was in a denominator, then it couldn't be 0 either. But square roots in and of themselves end up being greater than or equal to 0. This one's kind of a messy inequality problem. You probably won't see one quite as bad tomorrow, but it's going to end up being between negative 5 and 5. Because the funny with the squared, it's square rooted, it's plus or minus, and flip the inequality. But I just wanted to remind us of how to start with that one. Hold on, pause. So last one. Uh-oh. Remember him? Plug it in, step by step. I'm going to plug it in, I'm going to save it and then post it online. It'll be in the video as well if you guys want to remember how to do the difference quotient. If you guys took your corrections, your requests I should say, put it on my desk and I'll get it. If you borrowed a book, just give it back before you leave. Bye guys. If you decide you want to see your request, just come in after school. And you can come look at it for a little bit longer. Let me plug this in real quick and then I'll be right back.
I have $3.
Look, you're rich. Puppy. See ya. Yeah. Oh, you can just put it on my desk, but I kept it over there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Those cancel. Those cancel. Those cancel. Oh, minus a negative is a positive. That wasn't right. After out an H. Reduce. Dun, 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 dun.